Dear 12th class economics students, Assalamu alaikum. In this lecture, we will discuss various concepts of product and the types of production function. Students, regarding physical production by factors of production or on the basis of productivity of factors of production, there are three important concepts, which are total product, average product, and marginal product. Now we will discuss them one by one in a much greater depth in our coming slides. Firstly, let us discuss what is total product. Students, total product refers to the total volume or amount of overall quantity of output produced by a firm using given inputs during a specified period of time. Total product, it is usually specified in relation to a variable input. That is the type of input which varies or changes with a change in the level of output. Hence, total product can be raised only by increasing the quantity of variable factors employed in production. So, dear students, we can define the total product as the sum total of output produced by all the units of a variable factor used in the process of production along with some amount of the fixed factors. Let us give an example here. If labor and capital are the variable and fixed factors used in the process of production, that is, we take labor as a variable factor and capital as a fixed factor, and if some units of labor are used along with some fixed amount of capital, and if their contribution to output is 10, 15, 18, 17, 12 and 10, that is 10 units of output are being produced by employing 1 unit of labor along with some fixed amount of capital. 15 units of output are being produced by employing 2 units of labor. 18 units of output are being produced by employing 3 units of labor, and so on. Then total product would be equal to 10 plus 15 plus 18 plus 17 plus 12 plus 10, which is equal to 82. So, dear students, it means 82 units of the commodity or 82 units of a particular commodity are produced by all the units of a variable factor, that is, by all the units of labor along with some fixed amount of capital. Okay. So, now let us proceed to another important concept of product, which is average product. Students, average product of a factor is the total output produced per unit of the factor employed, that is output per factor, and it can be calculated by dividing the total product by the inputs. That is, we can get the average product by dividing the total product by the number of variable inputs used to produce this amount of output. Thus, average product is the output-input ratio for each level of variable input usage. Students, average product is thus equal to total product divided by number of units of a factor employed. If Q stands for total product, L stands for the number of a variable factor employed, then average product is given by AP is equal to Q divided by L. That is, average product is equal to total product, which is Q, divided by number of units of labor employed, which is L. For example, if 3 units of labor are employed and total product produced by employing the 3 units of labor is 270, that is 3 units of labor gives us 270 units of a particular commodity. Then average product would be equal to Q divided by L. Q here is 270 and the number of units of labor employed to produce this 270 units of output is 3. So average product would be equal to 270 divided by 3, which would be equal to 90, which means on an average 90 units of output are being produced by per unit of labor. So in this way you can calculate the average product of a variable factor. Now coming to another important concept of product, which is marginal product. Students, marginal product of a factor of production is the addition to the total production by the employment of an extra unit of a factor. That is, it is the addition to total product resulting from the addition of one more unit of output. Or we can say that marginal product is the additional output produced as a result of employing an additional unit of the variable factor. So simply, marginal product is the change in total production as a result of change in quantity of a variable factor. Thus, marginal product is equal to change in output divided by change in input. If we take labor as a variable factor, then marginal product of labor can be calculated by MPL is equal to del Q divided by del L. Del here stands for change. It means that the change in output or del Q as a result or due to change in quantity of labor employed, that is del L. Students, marginal product of a variable factor can also be derived from the total product of variable factor. And the formula for calculating marginal product of a variable factor from total product of that very factor is MPN is equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1, which means marginal product of nth unit is equal to total product of nth unit minus total product of n minus 1 unit. Let's illustrate this with the help of an example. Students, suppose if 2 workers are employed to produce rice in an agricultural farm and they produce 170 quintals of rice or wheat per year. Now, if instead of 2 workers, 3 workers are employed, and as a result, total product of rice increases to 270 quintals. Firstly, 2 laborers are employed and they produce 170 quintals of rice per year. Now, instead of 2 workers, the employer employs 3 workers and the 3 workers now produce 270 quintals of rice per year. Now we have to calculate the marginal product of the third labor. Now this marginal product of third labor can be or the additional production of third labor or the addition in production due to addition in one more unit of labor. It can be calculated with the help of this formula, that is MPN is equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1. That is marginal product of third labor is equal to total product of total product of 3 units of labor minus total product of 3 minus 1 units of labor, which will be equal to total product of 3 units of labor minus total product of 2 units of labor. And here in our case, total product of 3 units of labor is 270 quintals, 270 quintals minus total product of 2 units of labor is 170 quintals. Now we will get the result which is equal to 100, which means 100 quintals of rice is the marginal or the additional product of the third worker. So in this way we can calculate the marginal product of a variable factor from the total product of that very factor. Okay. Now coming to another concept, that is the types of production function. Students, the nature of production function, that is how output varies with change in the quantity of inputs, depends upon the time period allowed for the adjustment of inputs. That is, on the basis of time period, production function is classified into two types. One is short run production function and the second one is long run production function. Dear students, let us first discuss the short run production function. As we know that in short run some factors are fixed while some factors are variable. So short run production function is the kind of production function when the quantities of some inputs such as land and capital are kept constant and the quantity of one input or quantities of few inputs such as labor is varied in the process of production. Or we can say that it is that type of production function where addition to output can be obtained only by using or only by increasing the amount of variable factor. The study of short-run production function is the subject matter of the law of diminishing returns, which is also called the law of variable proportions, which we will discuss in our next lecture. Another important type of production function is long-run production function. Students, when we study production function by varying all the inputs, that type of production function is known as long-run production function. As in the long run, it is possible for a firm to change all inputs up and down in accordance with its scale. This long-run production function forms the subject matter of another important law in microeconomics, and that law is the law of returns to scale. And this law, we will discuss this law in our coming lectures. Thank you, dear students.